Simon, could I ask you about something you mentioned there was coaching? And at Management Futures, we put coaching at the heart
absolutely.
of everything we do. And I work with a lot of coaches, and I kind of understand the coaching world
Yeah.
a bit better than I understand the leadership skills world. Could you tell me about those two things, though? How is what you're doing distinctive from coaching? I'm sure there are some overlaps, but how is it differentiated from coaching?
Yeah, as you say, there are points where it overlaps. The key difference is that when you're a skills practitioner, if you like, and let's say I was working with you for an hour on a particular skill, a good 85% of that, maybe 90%, will be just practice. So, I might typically at the beginning, again, having had some informations come through that they've worked on, so I'm clear about things from the word go. Supplementary questions, what is it you really want to get from this session, etc. Let's give it a go. Okay, so no lots of input up front, just let's give it a go. So you might, for example, I was working with with a client a while ago, and they had got feedback, and all credit to them. They'd got feedback from their team, and they decided to do something about it. Not always, leaders don't always do that. Too proud to change. And basically, the client said, "Look, he was a lovely person, but I'm not always apparently good at getting my messages over. I never know when to stop speaking, and people aren't clear on what the outcome is. And I just need to be better at communicating." So I said, okay, well, let's give it a go. Take your last meeting. Imagine I'm one of a group of people here. How did you start it? And so they have a go. And I've already started to pick up on what I think might be getting in the way before they've even had a go, because I've spoken to them. Yeah. But we'll have a practice. Then I can immediately give some feedback on what I think they do very well. And there is always something the person does well, because they wouldn't be where they are in the job they're doing if they were
So you've got to catch
unable.
them
Got to catch
on their
it.
best
Keep it actually specific, absolutely.
Right.
And then very quickly move to, look, there's a few things I spotted, and I wonder if, just with a simple tweak, introduce a model or introduce a technique more, and skill and approach, just try it.
Yeah.
So we might do a little skills practice away from that meeting scenario, and then say, give it a go. And I think that was brilliant. Now let's apply it let's go back to that meeting and start it, overlaying it with that skill. So they'll have a go. And then we will stop and start, travel through the conversation, and then we'll have a moment of reflection, what they learnt, and then what now, what next? And we'll broaden it, and I'll introduce more skills. And the key thing is, where coaching similarities comes in is so what are you going to do now as a result
Committing
of this?
to the action.
Yeah. And if we're working very closely with the coach on a particular area of Coaching Plus, which we started introducing, the key thing is the coach, not me, the skills practitioner, is the key contact for the client.
Yeah.
I'm just helicoptered in to do a skills session, equip them, helicopter out. That's their coaching relationship.
So just to summarise there, in a coaching relationship where the agenda belongs to the client might be working with the coach to understand what the issue is that they should be working on or want to be working on. Your role is then to come in and work with them on that thing, on a well-defined specific thing that they're going to improve on. And you're going to be more directive than a coach would be.
Definitely.
So if I was coaching that person, I wouldn't be telling them what to do, but they've sort of committed to coming to you and doing some work together, listening to you, taking your suggestions, trying things, putting that into practice, and then doing reviews with yourself, but also perhaps circling back round to the coach. Would it work in that way as well?
Yes, and I will definitely be asking questions, definitely really listening, applying that.
Another
coaching
great
is the
coaching
heart
skill.
of things. Yes, the coaching skill. However, people sometimes just want to hear the feedback. They want a bit of direction. But of course, they have ownership eventually. And we'll circle back, and some things might come out in the wash they hadn't expected. So, for example, I was working with this client, and they improved no end by the end of the session. what they discovered was what was driving this behavior in the first place was a lack of confidence. So they filled the space. They did all this rambling, partly because they didn't have the confidence to stop and pause and hold the space. That wouldn't be my domain as a skills practitioner. That's for them to go and work on in a coaching capacity.
Yeah. So I'm hearing the difference. I'm also hearing that it's a partnership between yourself and the person's coach, and that you're both incredible allies to that person.
Absolutely. And what I would say is, just to sort of be really clear, there's coaching, there's skills work, which can work independently with a client. Never do they cross. Coaching Plus, which is something we've introduced recently, but is working very closely with the coaching department, is that hybrid service as described. So they get two people, one a coach, one a skills practitioner, which I think is great.
And just finally, Simon, one thing on people's minds might be about the confidentiality of that coaching relationship and the information that flows between you and a coach, or things that I take to a coaching that I wouldn't expect to be revealed elsewhere. How is that in this relationship?
So I do not. So, for example, the coach will not tell me anything of the details of
There's a wall between
There's a wall,
right.
and I will just know this person wants to work on a particular skill. They need to articulate that directly to me.
Yeah.
Once we've gone through that process, I'm giving it back to the coachee. I don't go back to the coach and say, well, the coachee has said this and they want that. I said, so that's about accountability for the coachee.
Yes.
It's not for me to...
it goes through the participant.
It always comes through. They are the ones who hold the information.
Right.
And that information never crosses the line.
Thank you, Simon. Thanks for going on this journey, a voyage of discovery into the world of Simon and your work as head of leadership skills at Management Future. It's been great to be on that journey with you, and really look forward to more conversations like this in the future.
Absolutely,
Simon.
I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, and I have. Take care.